One of my favorite shows to watch during the fall has been Gilmore Girls. My brother recently put me onto it.
Yeah, you remember when I put you on, Bitch, though?
Yeah, you put me on.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, he put you on?
Man, he was still listening to Roscoe Dash in 2020,
Roscoe
bro.
Dash?
Roscoe Dash. Low key, I really put him on everybody he know, bro. You know he was listening to nothing, he was listening to Roscoe Dash. Betty, I want you to say it, bro. I put you on everybody, say it. I put you on every rapper you know.
All right, we understand. We get it, okay? You put me on it, okay? Yeah, you got it. You want.
Anyways, you haven't heard of Gilmore Girls.
What, do you live under a rock?
It's about a high school girl named Rory and her young mom named Lorelai, navigating through their lives in a small town in Connecticut. This show has everything: drama,
Dean, no.
character growth, and some really beautiful moments.
What? Yes. Fine, you got it. Thank you. You're welcome.
But this video isn't about how good Gilmore Girls is. If you read the title, you would know this video is about standardized testing and what the show has to say about it. Well, if you haven't seen the show, sorry, we're gonna have to fast forward a little bit. Okay, we made it to season 2, episode 11, Secrets and Loans. I would love to give you all a summary about everything that has happened up to now, but I'm short on time, and I gotta explain what all of this has to do with standardized testing. During the episode, Rory, Paris, Madeline, and Louise are all sitting in a cafeteria during school. Rory is on her own side, sitting alone and reading a book. Paris, Madeline, and Louise are all having a conversation on the other side of the table, talking about what score they got on the PSAT.
Louise? Madeline?
You look happy.
Really? Huh. What? Nothing. It's just a nice day. A nice day.
Okay.
So, did you get your PSAT scores back yet?
Oh yeah, yesterday.
And?
500 verbal, 560 math.
Respectable.
I thought so.
Louise, what did you get?
Highlights, just around my face.
You will take them again and do better.
I will take them again and get my nose done.
You don't study. You don't apply yourself.
Blah, blah, blah. I need another chip.
Take them. So, I got my scores back today too.
Paris is desperately trying to get Madeline and Louise to ask her what she got.
Yeah? This morning. I just came downstairs and there they were, just sitting on the table. Boy, was I nervous, just imagining what I got. But then I realized that I'd have to open them eventually, and so I did. And was I surprised by what I found? Could have knocked me over with a feather. Yep, I was just that surprised.
They don't catch the hint, but Rory does.
So, what did you get?
Well, Rory, since you asked, and by the way, I'm not bragging or anything, but I got a 750 math and a 730 verbal.
Wow, that is good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Those are great scores.
So, did you get your scores back yet?
Yep,
And?
I'm happy.
How happy?
Pretty happy.
Yes, but how do I know that you're not one of those people who gets pretty happy looking at a sunset? How do I know what your barometer for being pretty happy is?
You don't.
Right. So, are you?
Am I what?
Are you one of those people who gets pretty happy looking at a sunset?
I don't get unhappy looking at a sunset.
What did you get?
That's personal.
Why won't you tell me?
Because it's none of your business.
Okay. Fine. Don't tell me what you got.
I won't.
Why won't you tell me your score?
Bye, Paris.
You're not torturing me, you know. I don't care. My scores were great. I'm very, very happy with my scores. And I hate looking at a sunset, so my standard for happiness is high.
For context, these two are academic rivals, and Paris always tries to outdo Rory in whatever she's doing. This toxic and competitive mindset that Paris has about standardized testing actually ends up hindering her later on, while Rory's mindset towards standardized testing ends up helping her succeed later on in the series. This clip perfectly illustrates one of the main flaws of standardized testing, the competitive nature of it. Both Rory and Paris have dreams of attending Harvard, and they will have to compete against each other to get in. Paris lets her obsession of success in Harvard consume her. Rory, on the other hand, doesn't even end up attending Harvard, even though she gets accepted. So much emphasis is placed on standardized test scores that ultimately don't matter anymore. I gotta fast forward one more time to get this point across. Now we're at season 3, episode 16, titled The Big One. During this episode, Rory and Paris have to give a speech for the school. Rory shows up prepared, and Paris takes a while to show up, and then shows up like this.
I am very ugly.
Yikes. Anyways, Rory and Paris begin their speeches, and Paris just stands there despondent. So Rory carries Paris' load and just does the speech on her own until...
You know, it's funny, me standing here before you right now. I've thought about nothing else for 4 years but this school. This big, important school with all of its history and tradition and really super teachers. And I dedicated myself to it completely, heart and soul, believing in its power, believing in its ability to get me where I needed to go. Harvard. I thought of nothing else. Many of you out there can attest to that fact. I was on my way and nothing could stop me. And here's the really funny thing. After 4 years of slaving away, I go home today and I found this. I'm not going to Harvard. I got the tiny envelope. The one that reads, "Sorry, Paris, we're not interested. Try again next year. Love, Harvard." And the thing that's really funny here is, who in the world deserves to go to Harvard more than me? Have you seen how hard I've worked over these past 4 years? I mean, can anyone here believe that I'm not going to Harvard? I can't. I'm not going to Harvard. I am not going to Harvard. I had sex.
Ma'am, this is a family show.
Paris' obsession about standardized test scores in Harvard ended up leading her into not even getting into Harvard. She put her self-worth in a number. She believed that she was doing well because her test scores proved it to her. The funny thing about this is that Rory ended up getting a better score than Paris on the PSAT, but she didn't put her identity in it. Rory could have bragged and been like, "I'm him!" But Rory didn't do that. Through Rory's mindset towards standardized testing, she ends up becoming the valedictorian and outdoing Paris in her class. Standardized tests are a slippery slope. Students end up putting their entire identity and self-worth in a number. They believe that their future will be determined by a number that doesn't take into account the individual. These are the reasons that standardized testing should be abandoned. But don't take my word for it. Take the word of the man who created standardized tests, Horace Mann, who said, "These tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned." The difference between Rory and Paris' mindsets towards standardized testing shows that standardized testing hinders students and should be abolished. As students, we have to avoid the trap that these tests put us in. The trap of putting our self-worth and identity in a number. A number that has no idea about who we are as people. So, what is it going to be? Will you decide to be Paris and let your test score define who you are? Or will you be like Rory and not letting your test score define you and be yourself?